Cody King. Cody, we ran the final yesterday at the World's warm-up. Can you talk us through it from your perspective?
Yeah, you know, we've been making a lot of changes, getting the car better, and kind of struggled a little bit in qualifying with setup stuff, and started going with David and, you know, trying to follow what he was doing because his stuff was working really well, and just ran the semi, got into the main, and I was leading the main actually, and kind of got into it with somebody. I'm not going to say any names, but yeah, it was a good race. You know, David was doing good, and Jared's stuff was good, and so that's what it's mainly about, is coming out and making sure that your cars are good and you're comfortable. And I think we're all kind of feeling really good about our stuff right now. So
we're here on Sunday. It's probably the first day of 2 test days. Do you have a program laid out, or are you just going to test all sorts of different things looking ahead to December?
Yeah, I mean, just playing with some stuff, just to, you know, finalize your decisions on what you're going to have when you throw the car down for that first practice, and just, you know, canceling out some things and keeping some things in the back of your head when you come back for the race in December. So,
how you joined Proline earlier this year. How confident are you with the overall package you're running at the moment to defend your title?
You know, at the beginning of the year, it was a little bit, you know, skatey, and, you know, we were kind of just starting to learn the stuff, but now I think we're pretty much at the confidence level we were with, you know, the AKA stuff back in the day when we were running at Thailand. And so that's mainly what it's about, is getting confidence in those tires and knowing that you know what works for yourself. And so I think we've finalized that, and we know what we like, and we know all the stuff, and we know what works. And so it's been a process, but everything is when you make a change like that. So it's been good.
So if we look forward 2 months, it's the World Championships again, and obviously as defending champion, what are your hopes and expectations?
I'm going to approach it the same way I did in 2010. You know, just try and get in the main, try and put a top 5 solid run in. You know, I mean, to get a top 5 at the Worlds is still an amazing accomplishment, even though that we already, you know, got one, you know, a world championship. It's still, to get in that top 5 at that race is still an amazing thing to do. So I'm going to go in with the same, you know, mental strategy, and, you know, work with Jared the same, and work with David, and, you know, now we got Elliott boots, and so it'll be good. I think it might even be better this year, so we'll see.
The track this year in Argentina is completely different to the one in Thailand in pretty much all different perspectives. Do you think the track suits your driving style, or are you still getting used to like those sort of flowing fast corners?
Yeah, it's definitely been a little bit of a different driving style. You know, this is definitely played in the strategy of the Europeans and their driving styles. But I think if you give the Americans some time, and I think we've started to rise up a little bit, you know, putting in times with David, and, you know, showing that we can run that pace on this style of track, the flat, lots of corners, not as many jumps. Because back home, it's a lot of timing. We have a lot of the Americans have good timing, and the Europeans are really good at corner speed, and, you know, carrying their speed into the corners and out of the corners. So that's mainly what we've been focusing on, is kind of trying to change yourself, you know, which is a really difficult thing to do, because we don't really have anything like this big and flat out. I mean, there's a couple tracks, but that's mainly been one of the things, is trying to focus on your corner speed and driving the car out of the corners instead of in the middle of the corners like the Americans like to do, because with all the rocks and some parts have a lot of traction and some parts don't, and all the bumps, it just, you really have to pay attention to what your car's doing.
Did you get the more of the feeling that you need to change your own style rather than perhaps change the setup of the car?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of were trying to do the setup and keep your driving style the same, but it just, we power out of the corners when we're still turning, which I've noticed, and with the way the rocks stick up here and the way the dirt is, it really doesn't work that way. You know, it makes the front end want to overpower the rear end, and it really gets you kind of skatey coming out of corners. So we've been playing both ways, and we've been you know, I've had to change a little bit driving, and, you know, talking with the other guys, Ty and Adam and Ryan, and they say the same things. So it's kind of something you just got to work on a little bit of both. You got to get your car to where you like it, and then you got to focus on the way you're driving the car, which has been a big part of it.
And last of all, a bit of a cheeky question. Gut feeling. Who the winner? European, North American, or Asian?
European. They've been fast. I mean, they know what they're doing out there, and you know, we haven't really come to a race and actually copied one of their setups, and we had to. You know, we had to copy what David was doing, and they know what they're doing out there. So I'm gonna go with them.
Okay, thank you, Cody.
Thank you.